Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. I'm very excited for today's video because we are continuing the revisiting series and we are going to be doing PewDiePie's reaction to the No More Lies video. Now, you know my opinions on James Charles, but I'm willing to give my 10s where 10s are due. And that video... Bravo. He made it like rent was due, and basically it was, because if not, it would have been bankruptcy if he didn't make that video. Also, over 70% of people that have watched my video within the last 2 months are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, so please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you enjoy the videos I post every single day. Yeah, over 70% of you are not subscribed. I'm looking directly at you. If you look at that button and it's not subscribed and you're watching... we have beef now. Anyways, let's get into the video. I want to remind you of the P.O. box. I am sending signed postcards and little letters on the back to every single person who sends to the P.O. box. People have been posting their photos of their postcards having arrived, and I'm very excited about that. Also, I have my Muckers Finsta, which is our little private Instagram community for the Muckers and me. There are over 18,000 of you over there. You have to be accepted on, so I'm going to be accepting people after this video. Last night was a pretty crazy one. I watched The Secret Life of Pets for the first time, and I had maybe, you know... So it was a crazy experience. So I documented the entire thing like I was at a concert when watching The Secret Life of Pets. It was a pretty crazy night. There's just Bonnie was watching it with me as well. She was looking at the dog that looks like her. Look at this. Isn't that so cute? Anyways, let's get on to the video. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm very excited for this one. This one's called James Charles Responds. Tati Responds. Let's get to it. Okay, let's do it.
Charles did an oopsie. Pro Jared update oopsie. Yay!
Do you like the crab shirt, by the way? I put it on for you today.
And Poppy Gloria oopsie. Wait, that's me.
Not this news thing. Not this.
Good evening. I'm Poppy Gloria. Welcome to Pew News. Last week, Poppy Gloria discussed the drama between James Charles and Tati. PewDiePie definitely missed the mark with this video about Tati.
Oh my goodness, not T-Spill. PewDiePie definitely missed the mark with this video about Tati and James. This is so much more than just vitamins, although I honestly think he's so far removed from the booty community, he's just flat out didn't know. 14,000 likes? Oh my god, people were not on PewDiePie's side, which is really crazy because we've been watching the videos, and I guess maybe it was a different time, but like I have pretty much been in agreement with most things that Felix has said in these videos. If anything, he's coming from the defense of James, but he's coming at the defense because like the internet was dogpiling and he has experienced that himself. But wait, I didn't realize the drama community were so against PewDiePie making these videos. Well, I mean, PewDiePie was making videos and he was probably turning the popular opinion because he has so many views and was, in a good way, adding another point of view. But, wow, I'm surprised at T-Spill there. Wow. Oh my goodness.
James.
I love that he included this. Oh my god, I'm Alex. What is playing on my TV in my living room? Have the dogs turned on the TV? Wait, my dogs are watching something in the TV. I think they're watching an Emily D. Baker stream. I don't know how they turned that on. I think Bonnie must have sat on the remote or something. I think she's watching an Emily D. Baker live stream right now. I literally think... I think my dogs have turned on an Emily D. Baker live stream. I think they have. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm Alex. I think PewDiePie completely missed the mark on the new video. James' friends provoked Tati publicly, hence her detailed response. Also, pressuring men into sex is a pretty big deal. I'm guessing he probably just didn't watch the video. 15,000 likes! Oh my god! Everyone was against PewDiePie! I'm surprised at this.
Missed the point on that video. PewDiePie video had no research. I really wish he did more research on YouTube drama. Do your research! I think PewDiePie did do it, read that back. Due to poor research that does not represent the hard-working, esteemed staff here at Pew News, we have decided to let go Poppy Gloria from our news team and is terminated immediately. Wait a minute. You can't fire me, I'm Poppy Gloria, goddamn!
I can't believe everyone was so against him for these videos. Because if anything, again, he was just adding a different point of view. But I think his takes haven't been bad. If anything, he very clearly said that Tati did this video because she wanted to promote her brand, which I think we can all agree is the truth. And I think he also said that like James's videos were awful, like in the same register. Like I'm surprised at like I'm Alex and T-Spill. Interesting.
Ham. Excited to...
That's what's really interesting about revisiting this.
What can my slogan be? I like ham. So what did I get? I mean, what did Poppy Gloria get wrong from last week? Well, people pointed out that James didn't delete the Sugar Bear hair Insta story, and...
Okay, but this doesn't matter. Wait, people are pissed at PewDiePie because he didn't include that James didn't delete the sponsorship. You're not allowed to delete sponsorships, guys. It's like legally in the contract. Like, I guess if you haven't done like social media like sponsorships, you won't know. But for example, my Adam and Eve ones, which are like basically my only sponsorship, because I don't like taking on sponsorships that I don't think are good. And I'm not saying that to be like, ooh, blah, blah, blah. I just like genuinely like, I get a bunch reach out to my emails and I'm like, if I was to promote this, you'd be like, Adam, come on. Whereas Adam and Eve, we worked together for so many years. With Adam and Eve, it's in my contract that the video has to stay up for, I think, a year or something like that. And for an Instagram story, it has to stay up for 24 hours. So, like, if James signed the contract, he had to do that. So, like, that's not necessarily his fault. Like, that's just a contract he signed.
And when he apologized...
It seems petty.
24 hours. Well, probably because there was some sort of contract. There was an hashtag ad on the upper left corner of his Insta story.
Sponsorship.
Probably because there was some sort of contract. Sugar Bear Hair is the biggest competitor of Halo Beauty, and SBH even dissed Tati in a reply.
Woo.
Well, it's almost like Poppy Gloria said that in the last video.
Tati's product is for health and beauty. Yes, the company does do those type as well, but he specifically held up this bag of bottle of sleep pills, and that's what he talked about.
So maybe you should do some research, goddammit. I loved Poppy Gloria. She was like a father to me. Clearly, I didn't understand every thing about what's...
But also, in PewDiePie's previous video, he said that the story didn't make sense to him, so he dug deeper into it, and whenever he dug deeper into it was whenever he was like, this story is dumb, like Tati's doing this for the morals of promoting her brand, which I think is a very valid point. You know what I mean? No? Okay.
Going on. There's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of onions. And yes, I brushed over some points just to save time. I didn't want to make another 43-minute video. I didn't talk about how she criticized James for over-sexualizing his content to a very young audience, how James has a way of manipulating and getting what he wants, and Tati obviously being fed up with that. My point was that I don't think Tati was completely innocent and justified in making that video.
Which I think we can agree with.
Doesn't add up to me. As someone from an industry perspective as well, and seeing someone's career being completely destroyed over what seems to me some drama that could easily be resolved between...
Crazy amount of subscribers lost in one day.
Comfortable with that. Jesus Christ, it's still going. So a lot of people in regards to James Charles have been throwing around the word sexual predator. Because allegedly James Charles has been abusing straight guys and to tricking them into being gay, or abusing his fame and influence or whatever to sway people in their sexuality. The thing, however, that I think is pretty important.
Also, so yeah, this came out maybe 2 days after No More Lies, I think. Yeah, it was. I think this came out 2 more days after No More Lies.
Is that the person that Tati brings up in her video saying that, oh, the waiter, he was straight.
In detail about
Things you wanted to do to the waiter, and when I told you, James, he's straight, you said, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity.
Obviously, that's disgusting to have some sort of idea that, oh, I can do whatever I want because I'm a celebrity. I can also see that being said as a joke, okay?
Which James said it was, and I do believe him.
Regardless, it turns out the waiter made a video, and he says he was bi-curious.
Invited me out to his hotel. At that,
I can't believe this guy made a video.
and when I said, James,
He's straight.
James, he's straight. Okay, well, I guess he wasn't. So he said that he didn't previously know who James was.
Didn't know who James Charles was.
He said that he's the one who contacted James afterwards.
The next day, my sister convinced me to direct message James Charles. He asked to kiss me. And I was very nervous because I had never done anything with a guy and I was bi-curious. So I said yes. We ended up making out for around an hour, and if I'm being honest, he's the worst kisser
Oh!
I've ever kissed. Way too
He's bad at kissing. So clearly, maybe there are other instances. I haven't seen any.
Something that's really crazy to me as well is that in all of this, right? Tati Westbrook, who's a part of the beauty community, right? The beauty community in which is meant to be a little bit progressive, you know what I mean? Like man in makeup, and it's supposed to be a little bit progressive. It's crazy that out of someone who's one of the heads of the beauty community and someone who's a part of the gaming community, PewDiePie's actually the one that's like standing up for the gay here. Like Tati Westbrook did, you know, basically overstep her boundary, and she kind of made statements that were quite homophobic. You know what I mean? Like a lot of her statements, whether they, I'm not saying they were flat out homophobic, but a lot of like homophobic phrases and kind of the way she was setting it up. So the fact that PewDiePie is the one that's detailing how that's not actually true what she said, it's like, okay, you have someone from the gaming community who's standing up more for the gays than someone who's in the community on YouTube that has a lot of gays. Like, I'm not saying there's not gays in the gaming. There is a lot of gays in the gaming. Too many gays. I'm kidding. YouTube, I'm gay. I can say that.
Okay, maybe being pushy, yes, I don't know, but so at least in this context that Tati brought up that made this whole thing explode, she was wrong about the allegations. The other argument that was brought up to justify this whole ordeal was that James Charles promoted Sugar Bear whatever.
You went to Coachella, somehow had a security issue, and magically Sugar Bear Hair is there with a contract in hand to save the day for you and all of your friends. No company would ever go out of their way to have an extra.
And James showed proof that they actually did have an extra one.
Thousands of dollars a piece, like just in case.
Companies buy extra tickets all the time. I don't know how Tati doesn't know this.
It just didn't fit her narrative.
Always gets tickets. If there's anyone that has tickets to events, it's always companies. So it's not weird at all that they had extra tickets to hand out. And now it turns out, seeing the text of the situation, it didn't seem like a planned thing or anything. It just seemed like it happened. But I think it's important to note that because of all this, false allegation came forward with a lot of people spreading around that information as well. There was this post on Twitter that got 24,000 retweets painting James Charles as this sort of predator, when clearly this was fabricated and false. This all started because Jeffree Star, another beauty community person, who called James a predator. Someone that is close, or at least in the circle of James Charles, calling him a predator seemed to back up that evidence, or that idea that he's some sort of predator going after people. When we know now, there's no real evidence to support that, and to even delete.
This is what the worst part about this story is. Like, the worst part about this story is that James Charles would eventually go on to do the things that he was accused of, that he was innocent of in the moment. Like, that's the part that's so fucking irritating about this. You know what I mean? We get it. Like, it's so just disappointing that, like, this didn't end here. Like, this didn't end with James Charles being vindicated and everyone had lied. Why in under fuck did he go on to spend many years of his career after this with proof, going out of his way to message people that were minors? I don't get it.
This tweet. Tati made this video talking about her own brand. The video has 50 million views. She probably made between 100,000 to 1 million off this video alone, and in sales of this product that she heavily promoted. It's the top link in the description, and there's a card.
Of course.
And she talks about it for an extensive amount of time. This, to me, sets a dangerous precedent of how much supported it is to make these type of videos, even if you don't have all the facts or whatever straight. I don't think this was her intention, but it's pretty crazy. Now, here's what I think, okay? I have it all figured out. All right, follow me here. James Charles is a dumbass, okay? He promoted these pills as a thank you to this brand that helped him. Without thinking too much about it, he promoted them, or he ignored the fact that Tati might get upset. Either way, the result was the same. James, under contract, couldn't delete the post right away, but just apologized to Tati. Tati got really upset.
That's the bad part of Hollywood. Welcome
to showbiz.
Everybody says what they need to say.
God, this video is so dramatic.
They need to use to get ahead, and I have
Enough.
Tati is fed up with people walking over her, or at least people in the industry doing that to get ahead. So she realizes, oh, I'm gonna do that.
I have to expose the fuck out of them.
James guy. I'm sick of him always getting what he wants. I'm sick of him getting away with bad behavior. He threw me under the bus, so now I'm gonna throw him under the bus. And instead of calling or talking to James or picking up his calls, she decides she's gonna do this video no matter what because she's had enough. Not realizing just how massive this thing would be, in my opinion, if this whole thing stayed in the beauty community, she would have gone completely fine. But since it's got mainstream, it's clear that...
That is a really interesting point as well. I wonder how different this would have been if it stayed within the beauty community. Like, it staying within the beauty community still could have been 5 million views. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot. Like, 5 million views. Not 45 to 50 million views. I wonder if it stayed within the beauty community, would James have just done that original... I think he would have just done that original Tati apology, ended up deleting it, and then coming back to YouTube like a couple months later. And I think Tati would have probably kept the Bye Sister video up and would have returned to, like, normal content. I feel like maybe Tati, Shane, and Jeffree would have all been friends still. Like, there's so much of a knock-on effect that happened to this situation because it went mainstream. Because it went mainstream.
People saw through or poked hole in her motives. She realized this is not at all what she wanted.
Yeah, and that's a good point that he's making there. Because it went viral, there were so many eyes on her that were looking at the story from so many different perspectives, so many perspectives that didn't involve the beauty community lore. So people were able to pick apart her motives or her reasons for doing it, which then I think stressed her the fuck out, which made her then go crazy.
And made this video now to try and stop it. And that's how all this drama started.
Yes, I just pray that we can all, like, be kind with each other through this, and I'm gonna take a time out, and I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna continue to play with makeup because it makes me the happiest.
I think this video feels more like what the first one should have been. There was clearly a lot of anger. I actually genuinely think she didn't want any of these consequences. She hit twice as many subscribers, and I don't think she's proudly saying, oh, I'm so happy I got this diamond plague button. It doesn't look like anyone is happier after this.
How many subscribers does she have now?
To subscribe, I don't want you to feel bad for me. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. This is not about me.
Okay, so she has 8 million subscribers now, just about. So she lost another 2 million after gaining all that. So she probably lost the same amount she gained.
I don't hate him. I love him.
Her YouTube stats were probably green, red, green, red, green, red.
I don't think he'll get that for a really, really long time. And I don't think anyone will.
Now, I didn't completely jump on the F James Charles bandwagon when I did my first video. Enough people were already doing that, and I didn't really see a point in it. I'm not as inclined to throw someone under the bus because I know what that feels like to happen to you. And since a lot of the things that were presented didn't make sense, I didn't do it as well. And I'm really glad I didn't because, yes, I don't think James Charles is completely faultless. That's not my point again. But clearly a lot of these allegations have turned out to be true or not as intense as described. You have all these people that immediately unfollow James.
Pop crave.
Whole ordeal. But
who was that unfollowed him? Let's see. James Charles has been unfollowed by Miley Cyrus, Shawn Mendes, Iggy Azalea, Katy Perry, Kylie Jenner, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, Emma Chamberlain, and the Dolan twins. And by the way, the Dolan twins and Emma Chamberlain were in James Charles's like public friend group with the Sister Squad, so that was a big thing.
And people that are pretty controversial figures as well, like Shane and I know Emma Chamberlain and Jeffree, they're not squeaky clean YouTube.
Emma's done her things, but I wouldn't associate Emma Chamberlain with Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star.
Everyone just jumped off the James Charles ship as soon as fast as they could. James lost a fifth of his audience or more. His tour is most likely going to be canceled. Multiple brand deals are likely to be canceled. Relationships.
Oh yeah, true. He was on tour at this time. It did end up getting canceled, I think.
He needed.
Thank God though for those ticket pairs because that show looked awful. Those videos of him dancing around, that strutting that stage, singing new rules in that like tracksuit. Oh, you better be so grateful that tour got cancelled.
Wake-up call, and I think this video will actually do him good. But if the whole thing was worth it, I don't think so. And I still stand by, I think Tati should have just reached out to James to sort it out. This is what happens when you bring your personal issues to public. I don't think it's a good idea. Next news. Good morning, actually. My name is Mary Hay. I was just about to upload this video, but James Charles uploaded his response video.
No more lies.
It's 41 minutes long. I'll try my best to summarize it because I think it's necessary to bring up. Basically explains the Coachella situation in very similar way of what I thought it was.
For those of you who may not be familiar with Coachella, I do want to quickly clarify the different passes just because it kind of is important to this whole situation. VIP, although VIP, is still very, very open to the public. Artist passes, however, are passes that you cannot buy. The only way you can get a hold of them is through a brand getting them from the actual festival or through having a personal connection to one of the artists or bands that are playing.
You went to Coachella, somehow had a security issue, and magically Sugar Bear Hair is there with a contract in hand to save the day for you and all of your friends. That leads me to believe that this was orchestrated beforehand, but he had an emotional conflict.
It's also so self-involved for Tati to make all this about herself, right? Like, James is not thinking about you at Coachella.
Because of me and promises he made to me behind the scenes. So he had to come up with a very clever story and didn't tell me right when he got back, but after.
Despite what Tati said in her video, this whole situation was definitely not a big scheme that was orchestrated beforehand. It really did happen on the spot. The Sugar Bear Hair team texted me the proposal right away. No money was involved, and with no time to negotiate in a panic, I signed, and that was that on that.
The thing is, James Charles, there's so much fucking money in the beauty community. I don't think he needed to orchestrate this whole thing just to promote a product.
And I think that's why Tati focused so heavily on money in her video. She kept saying about how she's made James millions of dollars on YouTube, subscriptions, sponsorships, and all like that. I think she honed in on money a lot, but I do think that what Felix is saying here is true. Like, James Charles didn't need to go out of his way to beg a company because he has a lot of money anyway. He just needed the pass, which is why he did the sponsorship just for the VIP, not any money.
I'm sure James Charles can,
which is also worth a lot of money,
without going through all this effort. It just doesn't make any sense. He showed the text of him reaching out to Tati before the post went up, and Tati says that it breaks her heart that he's promoting this brand.
Look how much he's texting and how little she's writing back.
James is trying to explain how this whole happened, but to be honest, I understand why Tati is upset. I didn't really get it in the beginning, but if you're working as a sole person on creating something and your competition is this bigger company, and to have your friend promo that company I can see how that's hurtful. But just like
I agree, but I do think that he was promoting a product that she wasn't making. And I also think at the same stage, he showed proof of promoting her brand. Like you said, it wasn't a transactional friendship, so we'll leave it at that.
Showed how she's shown so much support for James. James pointed out how he's shown a lot of support for Tati's brand as well.
It's a very important launch to me because it is my best friend Tati. She's launching something new.
I hated when he made these brother videos.
Which are the real ones?
Can I just say I love you guys for putting a halo?
So this is the video that Tati said that Jeffrey told her right before filming that James didn't want her to be there, wanted Nikita Dragon.
Question in there, right?
I just received my package from Halo Beauty. This is Tati's brand new.
Again, I understand why Tati's upset, and I understand that there probably happened more between them for her to lash out to make this video. But I still think that for someone who's been a mentor for this person to make this video is still unjustified. James also addressed the sexual assault allegations. I don't know exactly what to call it, but he states that he's a virgin.
First of all, I'm a 19-year-old virgin. I talk about boys quite a lot on my social media networks. Clearly at this point, it is not acceptable anymore.
And he addresses the allegations that he's using his fame for sexual favors or whatever.
I'll never use my fame, money, or power to manipulate or get any sexual actions from a guy. That is disgusting. It is not me.
He also addresses the I'm a celebrity line.
I'm a celebrity thing is really incredibly frustrating to me because this is an inside joke that Tati is also participated in, and she twisted this to be something far worse than what it is. This is the joke that really is where we say I'm famous, not I'm a celebrity, and it's something that we don't say in public very often.
So it was what I thought, at least from James' perspective, that it was just a joke. I can see that. He also addressed the waiter thing where Tati said that James was
Which also is so probably fucking annoying for James to have like a friend use an inside joke against you when out of context would look really bad, and the only way you can defend yourself is saying it's an inside joke, but we don't know if it's an inside joke, but I do believe him. And I think it's really fucked up she did that. And shows her morals.
That was straight into being gay.
About his sexuality, and he told me straight up that he was bisexual.
Oh my god, you tried to trick.
And this guy as well, the waiter, his first experience with a guy being blown up on social media is crazy. He wanted to dabble in the guy pull. The entire thing went viral. Like, he really didn't dabble. He, like, fucking dove into it.
Straight man into thinking he's gay.
Yet again.
Straight men being manipulated anywhere in the story, like Tati mentioned.
I'm skipping some points in this video, but James also addresses all the allegations that were followed up after this video. One of them being Sarah Larson.
For example, Zara Larson, who's a pretty big singer, tweeted saying that I messaged her boyfriend multiple times knowing he was straight. And this tweet got almost 500,000 likes before it was deleted. In her defense, she did later on say that it was only one message, but it was way too late because the media had already ran with it, saying that I was harassing straight men and wouldn't leave him alone. Someone completely fabricated a whole entire story touching another boy in a high school urinal, and it blew up. This person came forward a few days later saying that it was a social experiment, but it was too late. People also completely photoshopped Twitter DMs of me reaching out to these people.
James also addresses Jeffrey, who helped reinforce a lot of these allegations that were spread around. But I think this is where I'm ready to just check out, because I don't really care for another person to get involved with more drama. I think James addressed the big allegations that were thrown against him, and I'm really glad that he stood up for himself. He also talked about how this affected him mentally, the problems with cancel culture.
We're becoming okay with guilty until proven innocent instead of the other way around. I truly hope that everyone who participated in this, whether it be fans, influencers, drama channels, or credible news sources, take the time to think about your words and the impacts that they may have on others, because I assure you, and I promise you, it's a lot stronger than what you may think.
And James talked about he wants to work on himself. And it seemed genuine as well. Yay!
That was one of the points that Felix said that James should say in his video, so that's what he's referencing there.
To focus more on spending time in person with the people that I love and care about the absolute most, and I also have a lot of work to do in terms of getting my mental health back to where it needs to be. In a while, and all my closest friends that are not on my payroll,
all right, there it is.
Are all here too.
I love how you said that, because a lot of the people that criticize James were saying, oh, he needs better people around him that aren't on his payroll. Meanwhile, all these friends of him are the ones that are completely publicly trying to destroy him. So I like how he said that. And he finished up with, bye, sister.
Bye, sister.
Tati responded,
Oh, bye, sister's in the name of the video. Wait, I thought he was just making a joke that he says, like, bye, sisters, you know, and it's such a serious video. Oh my god, he said, bye, sister, the name of the video. I didn't even clock that.
digital.
Oh my god, Tati tweeted, I've left town on a digital break to heal and pray for healing on all sides. My family made me aware of what was posted, and I'm disappointed to see it littered with so many lies and half-truths. I stand by my video. Do not twist my... Well, she deleted the video. Do not twist my words into what they are not. Hear the message. Oh my god, for her to then say that Shane forced her to make the video.
She says that she stand by her videos. I do not twist my words into what they are not. Hear the message. Okay. All I know so far is that James showed proof, at least, for the allegations that were thrown against him. I haven't seen...
Which he did.
This is really crazy for me as the new news anchor Mary Ham to say, but it looks like Poppy Gloria was right all along, and that maybe she shouldn't have been fired after all. Oh well, too bad. Hopefully this is all I ever have to say about this, because...
And it's not. Okay, so PewDiePie ends up a couple of years later, maybe the year after this or the year after that, responding to Tati Westbrook's Breaking My Silence video, which I'm very excited for. And that's when he goes like ham on her. Like, this video is hard to find online. It was like a privated live stream, but we're going to do it. I really appreciate PewDiePie's take on this because I think it was important for the time being. Obviously with James Charles, most, if not all, things did not age very well, but I'm focusing on the time being for this. I don't want to speak about the future when we're speaking about a specific instance that it doesn't really relate to in the moment. Obviously, it does now. And I think honestly, without PewDiePie, James Charles would have really struggled to have a career. And I never like giving someone else credit for someone's success. But honestly, PewDiePie was getting millions of views on these videos, and it really set up the stage for James Charles to defend himself. And that was really important for his career. So, you know, James has a lot to thank PewDiePie for. Let me know your opinion on this one. I will talk to you down below. I appreciate you being here, and goodbye.